Alright guys, so today we're going to be analyzing this match played by Ven and Pollo, and Ven played Zelda, Pollo played Greninja. And my goal here is to look at what Ven with Zelda is doing correctly and some of his mistakes so that you can look at this and kind of figure out what are going to be some of the uh, more optimal and more logical decisions in different situations. And we're also going to look at a few mistakes Ven made. I just want to say up front, I think Ven's a great player. That's why I'm analyzing this. No hate to Ven. I hope if he sees this, he doesn't get upset that I'm pointing out some of his mistakes. Just want to show those to you so that you don't replicate them yourself. And this was is tournament footage, not just friendly footage. All right, let's go.
Trying to grab me.
And then they look so stupid just sitting there like, trying to grab.
And there's like so many, there's so much cooldown.
Can we talk about how
On
much
the
shield
Dora.
damage he just did to Pollo in
Yeah,
1
that
second?
was a bad decision.
I know.
Oh my God.
Who cares about the shield damage?
Pollo actually picking up
He got
Greninja
punished
because
for it.
he likes the way that Greninja moves, and he says that once, he throws out a hitbox.
Okay. So you saw there, let's back up. It's about 29. He used Neighbor's Love too early. It's generally good to use Neighbor's Love against a person rushing towards you on the grounds, but in the air, oftentimes it's not the best because it has it extends horizontally from you, but not quite as much vertically, the hitbox, so it's not as effective against an aerial attack. Let's see that again.
Pollo in 1 second.
I know.
Oh my God.
Pollo
So that was
actually
good.
picking up Greninja because he likes the way that Greninja moves, and he says that once, he throws
Yeah,
out.
see, there you go. He got punished by it. Let's do that one more time just to make sure you saw
He
it.
likes the way that Greninja moves, and he says that once, he
Yeah.
throws.
Way too early. And any character that has a pretty big disjoint, for example, I play Ridley a lot. Ridley's Nair is not going to get caught by that. His Nair has enough of a disjoint that it will beat Neighbor's Love. Whereas you can definitely punish like Ridley's dash attack with Neighbor's Love. So you got to be really careful about when you use that. All right, so let's skip ahead a little bit.
Be aggressive in his face, not given opportunity to play with.
Okay, so right there is a great choice. Her Fair and Bear are both pretty comparable to Captain Falcon's Knee, which is his Fair. In fact, I think they have more knockback. The sweet spot is a little bit smaller for Zelda, but the knockback is even better. So what's important here is that he did it while falling from the platform. Let's look at that one more time.
Out for tonight, for anyone who's playing against Ven, is to just be aggressive in his face, not given opportunity
Platform
to play
falls, fair. And another advantage over Captain Falcon actually is that the Bear, which on Captain Falcon is definitely less strong than the Fair, they're pretty much the exact same move on Zelda. Same small sweet spot, of course, but it's worth the trade-off. So Fair is very finicky. You do not use this move all the time. In fact, it's a pretty good out of shield option if you're close to one side of the stage. It's not quite as logical in the middle of the stage. If you land the sweet spot, it'll do 25%, great, but it won't kill them from the middle of the stage. All right, let's skip ahead.
And he's like, it's stalling. That's all. But he gets to confirm with the Nair. It's a fair.
Let's go.
And now.
Okay, so you see what he did there? Let's go back again. So he got killed just after this. There he dies.
That's all. But
Okay.
he gets to
So
confirm with
as
the
he's
Nair.
coming down, he starts forming the Knight. And I'm going to watch where Greninja goes. Because Greninja is actually going to make a non-optimal move, but it's not entirely stupid. Because the Knight will, if it's fully formed, it'll move forward, then sweep its sword up right about here. So Greninja knows that he can either move in here and then shield against the Knight and whatever Ven's going to do, or he can try and jump above. So the sword's going to hit right about here, so he can go woo up here. Let's watch what happens when he does that.
It's a fair.
Let's go.
There you go. So Greninja comes from here, hits the platform, then starts doing another jump. Ven knows he's probably not going to stay on the ground. Ven knows he's probably going to try and jump up here because the sword will hit him here. So Ven goes ahead, and you can see right here, here's where he did his up air, because that's where he predicted the Greninja would go. So basically the Knight covers both the ground and a certain area in the air right here that forces Greninja to make a certain choice, and Ven is then punishing what he thinks will be Greninja's logical choice, and he's correct, and he gets see, 61%. So he got
Basically,
20% damage
it's
off of
stalling.
that.
That's all. But he
Alright, let's skip ahead to the next big choice. Okay, so Ven's about to start forming a knight. And the reason he's doing this is, and you'll see.
adapts mid-game.
Okay, so he starts using Din's Flame. So the knight's there to protect him, which is exactly what knights are for. So he can use Nehru's Flame without worrying, or excuse me, Din's Flame without worrying about Greninja running in and either using an aerial or grabbing him, because the knight will punish Greninja if he tries to do that. So this is actually a combination that you should use quite a lot. If you're against a projectile heavy character, you're going to want to send out the knight immediately, then use Din's Flame. But if it's against a primarily melee character like Greninja, who's probably not going to hit you with a projectile as soon as you start using Din's Flame, you can leave the knight behind you because it'll protect you from melee. So this isn't a very exciting clip, but you'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I want to see more
So Greninja gets hit by Din's Flame because the player's sitting there thinking, okay, what do? I can't really run in and try and punish him because I'm far away and the knight's going to hit me. So he has a moment of hesitation and he gets hit by Din's Flame. And that takes him from...
First stock. Let's see how Pollo adapts mid-game.
69%.
Yeah, I'm saying,
I want to
Pollo
see more
to
aggression.
77, so that's about 8 damage total. Which is not a massive amount, but this is a tactic that you can repeat many times in a match. If you do it over and over again, then you're not really going to trick your opponent that much because they're just going to know what you're going to do. But it is good as a mix-up every now and then, and like I said, it works equally well against projectile or melee opponents.
Pollo.
Exactly.
Alright, so let's move on to the next one.
Let go of shield because then will sure.
Alright, I'm going to pause this here just for a second. Look at the percentage that Pollo's at right now. It's about 2%. Very low. Not going to knock him back with much of anything that you do. So let's see what
Back
Ven
here,
does.
you will die at 60. It's happened to me
He
before.
will kick your ears off. Your ear.
Okay, so
You will die at 60. It's happened to me
love.
before.
He will kick your
and
ears
take
off.
Pollo to 26%.
Your ears will be gone.
Dare. This is a bad decision. It looks cool, but at these percents is actually a bad decision. Again, a character with better disjoints than Greninja is going to be able to get Zelda, because if you go into training mode, set invulnerability to show, and then have Zelda die, she'll have some invincibility as she respawns. You can see the parts of her body that are actually hittable. Those will be green when she has invincibility. I'd encourage you guys to check that out. When she does her fairs, you can see that her foot, which is very small, extends from her body, and that is disjointed during her fair and bear. But for the most part, Zelda doesn't have very many disjoints, and this includes her dare. So I'm pretty sure Greninja, if he were to do an up air, would beat her range on dare. So this is actually a dangerous choice on her part. Now, or I should say his part, because Ven's a guy. Now, this would be worth the risk if this would get a spike on Pollo. So let's say he's at 90% or higher. That would be a worthy trade, especially because Ven's not at a kill percent. But where he is now, him successfully getting 2 dares in a row is just incompetency on Pollo's part. He made a mistake. He could have countered the first dare with Nair, and that would have won for him, because that's not a huge, but it is a disjoint for Greninja. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm going to just rewind this because it is a cool move.
Die at 60.
I won't deny
It's
that.
happened to me
He
before.
will kick your ears off.
Boom.
Your ears will be gone. Oh my god, no.
Yeah. And you can see that, especially with the second one, that was very sour. So I don't recommend this unless you know that your opponent's at kill percent, because Zelda's dare can kill, but it's not like Captain Falcon's where it'll smack them right into the ground. His has a big sweet spot, and they don't need to be at a high percent to get significantly knocked back. Clearly, it doesn't do much knockback, and it has a big sour spot. So this, it looks cool, but I don't recommend it. All right, what's next? Oh, right after that.
Oh! Ooh, I got wet.
And that's another thing that Ben loves to do off stage is that if he sees you recovering low, he will give you a little toe tap.
Just a love
If you
tap.
if you like feet,
Okay, so that right there was a terrible decision. Let's go back. What does he do?
tap.
Okay, gets up on he gets knocked up onto the platform.
Love tap.
Shields, good, good. Okay,
you like-
and tries to do a falling fair. Now probably what he was trying to do here is read a jump from Greninja. It's a bad decision. It's really tempting because fair is cool and it does 25% damage when it's fresh to want to try and land as many as possible. Do not recommend this. Look at their positioning. Firstly, Polyo's at 37%. I don't think you can kill Polyo from anywhere on this stage with a fair at 37% unless he's like in the air, maybe off to the side. Don't do that. This is a bad decision both because it's just not optimal from an offensive standpoint. You want to use something that you can combo into, like landing and using up tilt. It's a great combo move. But also, as you can see, he got punished for it because it doesn't have a very big hitbox. The better decision in this situation would have been a falling Nair. That would have been... It probably would have resulted in a trade with Polyo, but that's obviously better than what just happened. This wasn't a trade at all. He's got punished. Alright, what's next?
Trying to, playing this game of tug and war, just trying to bring Ben closer and saying, oh, no, you haven't won yet.
Okay, so right there. What do you try to do? Let's back up.
Just trying to bring Ben closer and saying, oh, no, you haven't won yet.
Okay, so he tried to bear Greninja, and Greninja responded with something that has a better disjoint. Simple as that. This was a bad trade. Just think about what he's doing. What is he trying to do?
Tug and war, just trying to bring Ben closer and saying, oh, no, you haven't won.
So Greninja just used a very safe on-shield option, which is his F-tilt, and hits Zelda's shield. So something that has more of a commitment, like a smash attack, would have made it a more punishable situation, which is probably what Ven was sort of thinking. But it wasn't punishable, and they both jumped at roughly the same time, and Polyo, or Greninja, beat him out because Zelda tried to do a fair, which again has a very small hitbox. Now let's watch what Ven does next time.
Yet.
He slowly...
There you go, falling Nair. That is a smarter decision. And again, keep in mind Polyo's percent and location. So let's say they're on the far left side of the stage, and Ven hits a fair and knocks Polyo continuing to the left. That'll be a kill. He was at...
Playing this game of tug and war. Oh, no,
75%
you
when he first tries that fair. So that's a kill percent, but not from the middle of the stage. So again, fair did not make sense in this situation.
haven't won yet.
He's slowly bringing
Nair,
it
on
back.
the other hand, made plenty of sense. That just got him a nice 9% damage, and because there's a better hitbox around Zelda's body and a little bit of a disjoint with Nair, it's a much safer option. Overall, that was a great decision there. And you can tell that that Ven is a good player because, unlike myself, he immediately realized, okay, this fair is not a smart decision. And so he switched it up immediately with 1 second's time of thinking. He was able to switch it up. It's a very good adjustment.
Being Van on the ropes here.
Okay, there you go. Let's just back it up a tiny bit more.
A little sloppy in his execution here. Like, he's winning neutral, but he's not confirming any combos or keeping Van on the ropes here.
Falling Nair. Okay, let's look at how much damage that did too.
Combos
84%?
Right.
keeping Van on the ropes here.
Okay, 99%. So that didn't really do much damage. It's about 5%. But, it's free damage. Lag on aerials is pretty low in this game. Or I should say landing lag. Aerial lag is actually pretty high, especially for Zelda's bears and Nairs, so keep that in mind. But in this case, Nair was a great choice. Then Ven, for some reason, decided to go for a fair. See what happens.
That's another thing Ben likes to do is land with
Didn't do anything. Alright, let's move on.
up B.
You just got to respect him getting back to the stage. Not really much.
In a situation like this, you see,
Yep,
gets
yep.
back on stage.
And now
Okay, that's great. And you know why? Because this is probably, if I'm remembering correctly, the first time, or like about 4 minutes into this match, the first time he's used a dash attack. And that's because, A, Zelda doesn't really need dash attacks. Your forward throw, and especially your back throw, your forward air, your back air, your up air, obviously your smash attacks, are all kill options. Even fully charged Knight, if you get people when they're like off stage and you catch them with it, that's also a kill. Zelda has so many kill options. That's why he doesn't use the dash attack much, but that's also why it's good that he used the dash attack. There's not a lot of ways that he could have, if we back up a little bit, caught
him getting back to the stage. Not really much.
In a situation like this, you see,
Yep,
gets
yep.
back on stage.
Yeah,
And
there's
now
like, he could have thrown. He could have used a throw in this situation, but dash attack was probably better in terms of damage and knockback. And you'll see what he does after this.
Punished him for it. Dash attack.
Wow!
Okay, now how did Ven know that Greninja's going to do that? Well, if you think about it, we already talked about him successfully using this tactic with the Knight earlier. So let's just back up a little bit. Okay, so he's forming the Knight here, and Greninja is up in the top left corner at the moment. So he's going to fully form the Knight, and that means that the Knight is going to slide sideways and then stick his sword up. Now, Greninja's only got one jump, and he doesn't have time to get down to the ground and then shield to block the Knight's attack. So logically, what he's going to do is try and jump above where the Knight's sword would hit. So what does Ven do? Ven's thinking to himself, if I were Greninja, what would I do in this situation? Boom. Up air. Because that's the most logical decision that Greninja's going to make. Now, if Greninja's a mind reader or has a memory that lasts more than 1 minute, he'll remember that Ven already did this to him successfully earlier in the match.
And he reads the jump.
He didn't remember.
Because,
So there you
yep,
go.
set up
There's
the
the
down
first
B.
game. Now, I've still got a few more clips to look at from the second game. Let's take a look.
Even if Phantom whiffs, Ven's already there with the downer. So is that right?
Okay, so right there, that wasn't very optimal. Let's go back and look at what he did again.
Even if Phantom whiffs,
Okay, so falling Nair is an okay decision. We've seen an example of where it was good earlier. In this case, Greninja shielded. Now, he does have low landing lag, so he has a couple of different decisions that he could make. He chose to go with Nehru's Love, under the hope that Greninja is going to try and punish him, which is not a stupid assumption, but he was just wrong in this case. Now, Nehru's
Ven's already
Love
there with the down.
has a fair amount of lag, which is why after Nehru's Love finished, he's going to get punished by a jab. Now, what could he have done differently? So a lot of times when a player does one thing once, they're going to do the same thing again in a row. It's just kind of a human thing. So what I would have done in this situation, if I were a fast thinker, then after my Nair, I would have tried to grab Greninja under the assumption that he's going to hold the shield a little bit too long. I can take advantage by grabbing him. The other option after landing would be to jab. Either one of those are good options. Your jab is going to be faster, I believe. That comes out faster than Zelda's grab. But obviously, if Greninja holds the shield, then jab is less optimal because he can probably hold the shield through the end of your jab and then punish you. So there is some guesswork involved here. This wasn't a terrible decision on behalf of Ven, but it was just the wrong decision. Nehru's Love on shield is, yeah, it's not a good choice. Usually, like I said earlier, you use Nehru's Love to intercept a person on the ground running at you, or of course projectiles. Not so good to be used against a shield, and not very good against aerial attacks.
Actually got the down tilt in the forward air, which is really good for him right here. Not able to punish.
Boyo accidentally backed
Dare
off.
again. Okay, so he did exactly what I was talking about earlier, where, like most players, if they do something once, they're probably going to do the same thing again pretty shortly. So he dared once, and then he dared twice. I understand what he's thinking. I'm in the air right now. This guy's below me. Maybe I can get him. But as we discussed earlier, Dare it has a very small sweet spot, just like Fair and Bear. and unless you get the sweet spot at a decently high percentage, it's not going to do much knockback. So that was a very unoptimal choice, and the fact that he just did it earlier is going to make the Greninja player very suspicious that you're going to do it again, and that's why. Let's go back a little bit just to see what happens.
And he actually got the down tilt in the forward air, which is really good for him right here. Not able to punish.
Shield does nothing.
Poyo accidentally backed
Dare,
off.
punished.
I like how he.
So, Dare is very situational. It's like a lot of characters where you mostly just use it to spike someone when they're at a high percent when they're off stage. That's really the main use case for it. On Zelda, I really don't recommend that you are using aerials while above your opponent any more than you really have to. It's not her strength. She's a spacey. She doesn't have good disjoints. It's just really not her strength. Mix-ups are always good, so I mean, I'm not gonna say that it was a horrible decision, but you know, it's gonna get you punished if you do that a lot.
Up air too. The angle kind of.
Okay, this is wrong. And let's see what happens.
The way you DI.
Boom. Yeah, bad idea. So you see me actually praise him for doing falling nairs earlier in the game, and those are pretty situational because in the previous situation he had come back from being off stage, and it was kind of like, okay, well, I'm already in the air, I'm already falling, what do I do? And it ended up being an okay decision. In this case, though, let's go back. Why is he doing this?
Have multi-hit, like DDD's up air too.
On stage,
the angle.
He's not already in the air.
Kind of.
He just decides to approach with that. And Greninja's in the middle of dash dancing, so it's not like he is punishing Greninja when he has a bunch of lag because of a smash attack or whatever. This is a really bad idea. Like, he had plenty of time to set up a Knight and then do a Din's Flame combo. He had plenty of time to set up a Knight and then approach with Nair, knowing that the Knight would cover him. It's just really not a smart decision. Alright, and then we can skip ahead to the last part.
Roll. Beefy. Oh no.
No.
Gets invincibility back.
Kill him. I'm angry. I'm upset. I want him to get a stock. He's earned it. Look how hard he's working. Oh my god, down smash!
Okay, so he just punished with down smash, which is funny and it's stylish, and I absolutely don't recommend it. If you take your Zelda into training mode, you're going to realize that both down tilt and down smash have terrible range. They're bad. And that's not to say that the knockback and the damage that they do is bad, but it's very suboptimal. Like what I would have done in this situation is as soon as I up tilted Greninja and saw that he's going over the side of the stage and he's gonna try and use a jump or an up B to come back, what I would do is I'd set up a Knight and try and do that same Knight up air combo, or I'd use Knight and Din's Flame and try and spike him while he's off stage. There's a couple of different, I mean, you could try and set up a fair. That would not be optimal, but there's a number of more optimal decisions than this down smash, and you know, I'm not going to say that, wow, what a terrible decision, because yeah, Fen landed it, but again, this is very stylish, and considering that, if we go back, Polyo's at 86%, but Ven's at 159, so this could easily become something if Ven's making these quote-unquote stylish decisions, and whiffs them, where Polyo could really quickly punish him and turn this into an even stock game. So, yeah, I don't really recommend the down smash unless you're ready to lose a stock. So, that's really all of my comments on these two games. Ven took it in 2, so it's a pretty commanding win. I hope you guys kind of learned about some of the decisions that are better and worse. You know, I'll list off some of these. Nehru's Love. Use against grounded opponents that are approaching you, and projectiles. That's about it. Don't do falling nairs unless you're in a situation where you had to be in the air in the first place. Do not jump above your opponent and then try and use a dare. Do try and set up frame traps with the Knight. You can combine the Knight and Din's Flame to protect yourself while you're using Din's Flame. Also, one thing I didn't cover from his gameplay footage that he actually did do is he did fairs out of shield pretty often. That's a good decision if your opponent's like right on top of you and they do something like a smash attack into your shield. So not a jab, but something that's going to give them a certain amount of lag. That's a great time to fair out of shield. That is a time where I'd actually suggest fairing no matter what. It's always good. It's a free 25% damage. But not if they're jabbing or using something that doesn't produce much lag, like a well-spaced F-tilt. Also, if they're not right on top of you, then I guarantee that at best you're going to sour spot the fair. So there's a number of things that this video shows that Ven does that are more and less optimal. Try and learn from that. And if you guys enjoyed this, you feel like you benefited from it, please give me a like, give me a comment. Feel free to share this with other people that play Zelda or Greninja. Whatever you want to do it. Have a good one.